Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Season 16, episode 10, mediation and meditation, or meditation and mediation. That type of deal, right? So the episode basically starts when we see Shamia meet with Ralph for lunch to allegedly talk about podcasting, because Todd and Ross did a podcast a couple years ago. He want her advice on podcasting, or I don't even know what this meeting was for, because the Shamia podcast to be able to mentor somebody in podcasting. So I'm like, why is he going to her? Did he want to partner with her? Like, we didn't see none of that. I wonder how much of that conversation actually happened, because we know that they edit stuff down a little bit, but knowing these two fools and how they had an agenda, it could very well have went just like that. 2-3 lines worth of podcast questions, right to the mess, okay? Right to the Drew smear campaign, honey. Okay, so like I said, allegedly talking about podcasting, but in her confessional, she straight up says, I want the tea. We finna get to the bottom of things today. Yeah, bro, she be so comfortable with that bro shit. I'm like, Portia just got on your head about you still calling Simon bro after they broke up. Granted, Drew ain't your best friend, but girl. So Portia pops up. Well, they have some conversation, but I'm just get to the whole conversation. But Portia pops up and act like she don't know that Ralph is gonna be there. Okay, y'all, this is the part that took me out. Portia two-arm titty tugged Ralph. Now, I'm not the jealous type. I could really care less, because I know my husband ain't gonna go in for no two-arm titty tug with no body, titty hug, with nobody, like, but me. This is the hug, Kenya. Come here, Kenya. I know you at home watching with us. Come here, Kenya. That is the type of hug that Brie wanted from you, okay? She wanted both arms of both people wrapped around, embracing so tight that your titties is touching. That's the two-arm titty hug. So tight. That's what Britt wanted, Kenya. All right, girl, you can go on back and play with Brooklyn. So yes, y'all, she walks in and two-arm titty hug that lady husband. They sit down. Of course, they're talking about Drew. Well, I feel like they talked about Drew and Dennis first. She really still, working with your baby daddy. So what about hair? She's still working for, oh no, she does not work for the Go Naked Hair anymore. That is over. Ralph was like, but y'all was like this. Y'all was like this. She said, you need to open them fingers and spread them apart. I said, you had to touch him? Portia. I know she ain't messing with Ralph, because Ralph ain't got the bag that Portia desires in a man. But she still be doing too much. She still be doing too much. We'll get there. We'll get there. We might as well just go there now, y'all. They talk about the cheating. Because they were like, who filed? Who filed? Oh, I filed. Why you filed? Because she was having an affair with Ty. Oh, you ain't, at the end of the thing. Oh, you ain't cheating out once, Ralph. You ain't cheating out once. You ain't sniffed another woman. And he was like, yeah, I sniffed them. Where at? Look, where at? I said, not you eating that food off that fork like that, looking at that man. And she just, Shamia said, Portia, stop the smiling. You looking trashy. You looking like what we think of you. Ooh, I just need to get, okay, nah. You looking like what people think of you, because we know you stole that lady husband, and then you just said about Angela that you were her husband too. So I'm like, you ain't making yourself look no better. Shamia said, stop smiling. It was given on the after show, and it's funny because this clip been going around where Kenya brought the candy lady in to mess with Tanya. And she was like, Paul, That's what Portia in this situation gave. Because why is you doing the most, honey? So back to Drew and Dennis. Portia claims that Dennis sent her this text message where Drew, she's trying to make it seem like Drew made a pass at him. We don't see that part of the conversation, or she don't read that part out loud. We just hear her being like, no, I told her I ain't trying to get no, just run me my money type deal. Something along those lines. It don't sound like Portia got screenshots. It sounds like she asked him a question and he replied, right? But she be trying to act like she got screenshots or something, I feel like at one point. So for me, it sounds like he's telling Portia, girl, I ain't worried about smashing her. I told her, run me my money. And Portia's trying to take it like he said this to Drew type deal. And it's like, what you read off the text message does not imply at all that Drew was trying to sleep with him. Beats for booty. Not beats for booty. We'll get there. But yes, y'all, Portia be doing the absolute most. So Ralph is like, before all of, I be jumping around. Ralph ends up telling them before, I think it was Portia got there, he's telling Shamia, this disturbed my soul. Him and Drew were together for 3 months when he got engaged, 5 months when they got married, 8 months when she got pregnant. These folks was only together. These folks only knew each other. Because the together part don't matter. These folks only knew each other for 8 months. That is insane. Like, people gloss over that a bit, but I'm like, that disturbs my soul. Like, that is insanely fast. Like, I don't care. No, it's just a no for me, dog. Okay? It's crazy. So he says he does not like who she is becoming. I was like, a woman that can stand up for herself, a woman that's like, if you gonna cheat, I'ma cheat back. Okay, when you out in the club, don't think I'm not. And it ain't even gotta be a nigga. Come here, Ty. Come here, Ty. You hear me? Everybody done making like, Ty has been the moment, and I'm sure she is eating it up, right? Eating it up. Oh, you gotta take a minute for Ty, because Ty, when she was dating Mimi on Love and Hip Hop, I was like, oh, okay. Mimi done switched to the other side. All right. Mind you, I'm already a shade of the rainbow, so I ain't got no problem stepping over to the other side. So when we saw Mimi doing that, I was like, well, that's Ty. I get it. I showed it to my husband. My husband was like, I mean, I ain't saying she looked good, but I mean, she looked good. Exactly, right? So Ty is over on Basketball Wives with Ming Lee. She black, but her name Ming Lee. But she over there, and they talking about Drew Sidora on Basketball Wives, because Ming like, yeah, you cheated on me with Drew. She like, I ain't cheated with that lady. And she like, yes, you did. I saw the text message. It was like 3,000 minutes a month consistently. I said, whoa, that's insane. That's a lot of talking to somebody. That is a lot of talking to somebody. That's like 2 hours a day. What's that? 3,000, that'll be about 50. Child, don't give me the line. What my calculator at? It's not important. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of hours to be talking to anybody when you got a spouse. We just saw Cynthia, and then he's talking about Peter gave Cynthia the ultimatum because she was waking up, taking lunch, and going to sleep on the phone with Nene. And he like, girl, I ain't got no time to spend with you. So that's a lot of time to be talking to anybody. But what was I watching? I hate it for me so much because I was just, when I was trying to pull up the calculator, I was like, oh, let me put it on D&D, and didn't. Talking about Ty, distracted by Ty flying. You feel me? But now I'm gonna have to sit and sync the video on the NT Ways. Ty, she's the moment. Monday night, Claudia and them. Claudia Funky down even Carlos King, Claudia Jordan, and Dustin. They be reviewing the show on Carlos King channel on Mondays. Claudia Jordan went the F in on time. She went in because she's really good friends with Mimi, so she got the inside scoop on how Ty ain't shit, and she desires fame, and she wanna be with this girl and that girl and this girl. She cute and she got a bag, and everybody been like, I mean, if you gonna get with a woman, let it be a bit like that. She got the package. She's an H. She an ASB. You know how niggas be anxious. She an ASB. They out there. They out there and they probably do you worse than the men. That's the sad part. So yes, Ty. We see this clip of Ty because he brings up, oh, she had an affair with Ty. Shamia is like gagged. She's like, that was really a thing. I think that was on after show. Somebody was gagged because they was like, I mean, yeah, we saw it in the blogs, but we didn't really see no follow up. I don't know if it was true or not. But Shamia is just like, oh, word. And we see this clip of Drew being like, she's my friend. She's there for me. She laughs at my jokes and she makes me feel warm and tingly on the inside. Okay. What a roundabout way to say you're in love. You had a whirlwind romance with Ty just like you did with Ralph. But her only motive is to get the picture out there and dip. Ralph's was to literally trap you and try to take your money. But yes, girl. Yes, Ty Young. She the one. So where we at with it? Portia, back to the Portia and Dennis stuff. And when Portia showed or said the text or something like that, Ralph was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. She really screwing Dennis. And, Dennis did at least ask for my permission beforehand. And they was like, okay, that's good. That's good. That's big. Yeah. But I mean, she smashed him now. Portia gonna say, well, that's just a rumor. Don't believe all the rumors. I said, are you crazy? You're literally saying this and then like, well, that's just a rumor. You're starting a rumor. Portia's insane. She's insane, but she's good TV sometimes. You feel me? So I'm just like, okay. Back to Ralph. He claims he never cheated. But what about Tampa? Where was you with Tampa? Like, okay. Later on, no, the girl's right there at the table. Like Ralph not sitting there. They get to talking about Angela. How is she still mad at me for laughing? And she done, made amends with you, Portia. And you the one that said it. Portia is like, no, she's mad at you because you gotta hold yourself accountable. And Portia low-key lit into Shamia in that moment, y'all. Like, Portia. Yeah, am I like super shiny? Because I've been having to put Aquaphor on because my skincare started breaking me out. Not breaking me out, but like kind of burning my skin. So I said, ooh, just go back to the basic turmeric soap and some Aquaphor to heal the skin, and then we'll start at trying to find new face stuff. But yeah, I was trying to rewind it to get to the thing. Portia kind of chewed into Shamia a bit, like, girl, no, she wanted you to take accountability for yourself, and you didn't do this, and da. I said, not you getting no Shamia for defending you. Shamia, you should feel foolish in this moment because Portia just really said, girl, you had your own responsibility. Her mess. But I'm like, yes, essentially, Portia not lying. Shamia presents like she has these, morals and character and things about herself, and she's a wife. So Angela assumed higher of her. She had higher standards for her than Portia, talking about she should smash that lady husband type deal. So I kind of get where Angela is coming from. And then at the same time, I don't think it's a situation where Angela is I lost where I was. I got confused in it too much. Angela's still annoyed with Shamia. Shamia, this episode, because her meeting with Ralph all together, it just was like real side eye. Like, okay, Shamia, I don't know. We've been thinking that you weren't an equal to Portia. I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, they get to ordering food. You paying for the dinner, right, Ralph? Yeah, girl. I'm gonna get the ribeye with this. Oh yeah, I want this as an appetizer. Oh, we get appetizers. Get the appetizers too. He said, yeah, get them some shots too. Portia said, perhaps not. I said, not get them some shots. Oh, you ordering everything? You forgot your shots. You know, I got Drew money and my money. You better. Britt and her husband are at the house talking about her and all her beef she got. He making breakfast. She making matcha milk. She making matcha milk. And she asked, I think she said 4 slices of bacon. I said, that's kind of greedy for a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. People be putting 4 whole slices of with the bacon and the egg and the cheese. I just do 2, break them in half. But yeah, that's what she wanted. Yeah, do 4 slices. I said, oh, okay, right. All right. She's telling him about falling out with Angela. I just don't know. I shouldn't say that. She was like, you got stretch marks on your mouth. You got stretch marks on your mouth. He's like, well, what was she saying? I don't know. She's just crazy. Like, oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. Britt's crazy. And Britt trying to act like she didn't provoke that lady and she didn't start with her for her to be like, girl, you got them stretch marks on your mouth. Don't worry about what I'm doing for my husband. I don't need to run some miles on mine like yours. You feel me? So they talk about the sister next, and he says that he hit Cher up to go hang out. We see them go meet, and he basically tells her like, girl, it's not me. I'm not telling her that she got to get permission to come see you. And I can believe that. I can believe that he's not explicitly saying that. But Britt legit said in her confessional, my sister is just jealous of me having a man because, you know, once I got this man, I just deserted her. And I spent all my time with him, okay? And my sister can't keep me warm at night. Like, what does she expect? Like, I have to be here at his beck and call to make sure he's not cheating on me. So, no, Cher, I don't have time to come and hang out with you anymore because I have a husband. Okay, that's basically what Britt's getting. So we see Angela have Kelly over. Yeah, I'll be watching the after show. I'll be watching everything, especially when it takes me till Wednesday. Maybe till Wednesday. Then Julie, I just be going ahead and making sure I have everything to just kind of get the context. So I watched the episode at least twice. And then watch what happens live, the after show, and then Carlos King Messy Monday, because they be knowing people and they be having a little backside scoop and stuff. So it'd be cool to watch them, right? So on the after show, Kelly, and which I completely agree with, Kelly talks about how Angela inviting her over this house she's trying to sell because she got 5 houses, $2 million in debt to get these houses off because she got them priced too high. Lower the price, baby. This house she's showing Kelly is supposed to be a $3 million home. It's just not giving $3 million. You feel me? And on the after show, Kelly was like, she didn't even have no charcuterie board, no little snacks out. I had to bring my own champagne. Glad I brought some champagne for me because she ain't had no. I said, period, Kelly. Like, I'm with you. You trying to make me buy a house? You ain't got none. You invited me over, period, and you ain't got no. But you invited me over and you asked me to spend my money and we drinking the champagne I bought? Like, Angela, get it together. So Kelly is walking around the house like, oh, okay, this is cute. All right. The ceilings is low. The closet is little. The pool ain't finished. And it ain't got no water in it. It's dirty. And she's like, I got a rendering of the pool. Okay, girl. Okay. It's just not giving $3 million home. Yeah. But Kelly is like, listen, I came over here because I don't want no smoke with Angela. You know, the way she ate Brit up, you know, I don't want no smoke. So I need to go make sure we cool from that little baby. You know, she always got to tuck her titties in. So I just got to make sure we cool for that little baby coming. City's always about to spill out. Like, her and Brit, they dress like. And so, yes, child. Kelly, she ain't about to buy that house, but she trying to make sure ain't no more smoke because she ain't trying to be on Angela's bad side. They sit and chat a little bit about the baby comment, and Angela addresses it. Like, listen, I was some random girl running up to Wendy Williams trying to give her marital advice, but she really don't know me, and I spoke out of turn, and she took it and made it like it was with my current husband when that wasn't the case. Okay, that's believable. Wendy messy. Okay, cool. We ain't got no reason to believe otherwise. So sure, girl, we rolling with it. Next, Angela mentions how her, Drew, and Shamia went out after the bank vault incident, and Shamia basically poured her heart out to them, right? This confused me because I'm like, Shamia, Drew, and Angela? I feel like that's such a weird pairing, but I guess with the way they kind of separated throughout the parking lot, that makes sense because Britt was over here acting a fool and Kelly was probably with her. We saw no. Shamia wasn't in the car with Portia, huh? No, she was. So they make it even like stranger. Like, you rode in the car with Portia. Did you have Portia drop you off on a date to go be an op? Because she was in the car with Portia. Maybe Portia was just driving her to the car because Portia was also driving Kenya to the car after the bank vault. Y'all, why my mind be? But yes, that's another side eye for Shamia, because if Portia supposed to be mad at Drew, why you gonna go and speak ill on Portia when? And then Angela and her beef started, because they said that her and Angela got into a screaming match. They just don't show it when Portia was like, oh, I know your husband, or I know something about your husband. And Angela was like, what you know about my husband? Angela was way more buck than what we saw. So the fact that Shamia really went, well, back it up again, skirt. Portia was being shady about Shamia's song. So Shamia did have some pent up inventiveness. She had some going on. This bitch really just said, why was she saying it was you on the track? That's probably how it started. And Angela was like, girl, let's go talk about it. I figured it out. I'm glad I worked through that with y'all. And I just hope y'all watch and like the video as an appreciation for us working through how this thing went. So yeah, Shamia was feeling the ways about Portia trying to be shady about her song. So she went out with Angela and Drew to vent. Maybe talk a little trash about Portia, right? So now Angela is telling Kelly that, and Kelly gonna say in the confessional, I think Angela should just mind her business. But we gonna see Kelly do the exact opposite at the end of this episode, y'all. Angela also meets up with Portia. I think it's at this same rental property. She said, I would never have a woman over my home after threatening to F my husband. So she brought Portia to the rental property. We gonna play some tennis. When Portia gets there, Angela's playing tennis with her daughter, the one that got married. Portia greets her and everything, and the daughter walks on off. In the confessional, Angela lets us know that the daughter is married to a woman. She was just like, yeah, my daughter is married to a lovely woman. I just don't know, why she wouldn't tell me. Yeah, they doing good though, type deal. I said, oh, okay, cool. They play a little tennis and then they sit on down to gossip, right? So Portia tells Angela about the lunch that they had with Ralph. Of course, she brings up these inflated text messages again. And Angela was like, oh, Lord, not booty for beats. I said, not booty for beats. Angela is funny. She quick with it. That's why we love her. She is, don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. She is what Sheree aspires to be. Sheree don't always be quick in the moment. She can sit down and come up with a read by the time confessional come around. But in the moment, Sheree, she'll get the stuttering, she'll get the man, like, that would have been a thing to see. Angela and Sheree. Oh, but they probably don't even like each other because on Watch What Happens Live, Angela wouldn't answer the question, so that means yes. Did Charles ever date Sheree? Hilarious. So yes, booty for beats, y'all. Portia's like, yeah. And she spoke on my child. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna make enough money to send PJ to college with this album. And Portia and Shamia are so aggy with this because it honestly wasn't giving shade. It was giving light banter, but also I'm trying to big up me. I'm trying to say that I'm gonna make so much money, I get to pay some tuition. Not to say your child need their tuition paid, so this album will do it for you. Like, no. So Angela basically tells her that, like, I was there and that's not quite how it went. So Portia's like, well, why would Shamia deliver it like that? I said, dang, Mama Diane, I owe you an apology, because when you told Portia to beware of the dog that's bringing you the bone, I was like, she was just letting her best friend know that somebody was talking trash. Like, that message she didn't inflate or nothing like that. So I feel like, I was like, dang, Mama Diane, why you saying like that? Like Shamia something. But now when we hear about how she twisted up what Angela said and she twisted up what Drew said, because remember on the trip she was like, yeah, Angela said she mad at Drew, and Angela, all she said was, I just need to know how Drew was responding while people was talking trash about me, type deal. So she done inflated stuff a couple times. So it's like, oh, okay, Mama Diane, my bad, Mama, you was right. Okay, all right. So Angela is like, well, speaking of Shamia, she think that you didn't want her to be here amongst this friend group. And Portia's like, nuh-uh, I showed her the text messages where, she saw that she was on my list of girls to recommend. But the thing is, I know that, your husband won't film, so that might be a problem. Your husband might not be filming, type deal. That's Portia's excuse, right? And so Angela goes on and is basically like, she said the friendship is one-sided and she don't want to be seen as your lapdog. And Portia is so distraught. She got her fan. Y'all sit there. I gotta go. I can't. These tears not coming. I can't force these tears. I gotta go. It was so fake, baby. You not that phased. You probably was like a little like, dang, she said that to you type deal. But girl, we already know that crying and running off is your specialty. That's how you get out of stuff type deal. So while we're on Portia, the rest of the episode is on her event. Pampered by Portia. It's an event, but it's really a promo shoot for her sheets. Now, some people think these sheets is new. She's had these sheets for a while, from definitely the first time she was on the show before she left That's probably the text. Before she left, because I can recall, I think this was probably, no, it wasn't before the hair. I think this was when they had the pandemic little pop-up shop, because they was wearing masks and stuff. And she was like, yeah, and I got my Pamper by Portia sheets. I was like, oh, did you have a Go Naked hair booth? So like, what a Go Naked hair booth? But I remembered her having these sheets for a while. So she's doing this big promo, you know, and I'm like, she was slick with this. This was this cousin, rest in peace, cousin Lundy. I remember her from different episodes and on the Portia spinoff, and I know they said she passed earlier this year, end of last year. So rest in peace to Portia's cousin Lundy. But she did the planning for this event. It's beautiful. They got the rooms kind of set up like a content house, but starring Portia's sheets type deal. So super cute, right? So she assigned everybody a color. When they get there, they've got a robe that coordinates with such. And food, drinks, they get massages, and then they go pose for pictures. Drew said, like, oh, is this a promo shoot? Because I ain't getting no contract to be no ambassador or nothing. Like, my Go Naked hair contract was terminated. So what's this, Portia? And I was like, yeah, Portia definitely just used y'all for a free promotion. I'm screaming, y'all. So, like I said, they got their little massages and all of that. Then they eat and kind of spread out and talk or whatever. Kelly takes Shamia. They go to one room and they sitting and talking. She tells her that Angela told Portia about their little lunch meetup. And Portia, Shamia is just kind of looking like, oh, I don't know. She looking like a puppet that just got caught with, like, you know, your bread in his mouth. Like, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? That's what she's giving, right? So they all go into this room where they have associated mattress, little air mattresses with the associated colors of that they got on for their robe and their lingeries and stuff. And they're doing a meditation exercise led by Portia's sister Lauren. And she's like, you guys, if you feel safe and you feel comfy, just go ahead and lay back and close your eyes. Everybody is laid back except Shamia. She's just like staring down at Portia like a little sad puppy. And I'm just like, Shamia, have you some pride? Tuck your shame in. You're on TV. Just gazing off in Portia's direction, looking like a little sad puppy, y'all. I could not deal. So Kelly gets up with her glass in her lingerie. She leave her robe and she tiptoes over in the middle of meditation. Tiptoes over to Shamia. She tiptoes over to Shamia, and Shamia's like, girl, don't let me ruin your meditation. No, but what's wrong? She said, if you feel comfortable, you feel safe, and I just don't think this is a safe environment for me to lay back and close my eyes, especially laying up next to her. So Portia is like, shh, shh. The meditation is going on and they're just having this side conversation. Y'all, it made me scream because I'm like, you really having this conversation. So afterwards, Lauren leads them into, as Jackie Christie would say, a ponderosa, and Kelly pops off about Portia and Shamia. I said, oh, you just said in your confessional that Angela need to mind her business, but now you're like, I think that Shamia and Portia should talk because there's something wrong. It's something wrong, right? I feel like the group feels like Portia doesn't allow Shamia to be her best self. I'm like, whoa, that is loaded, because why somebody gotta allow you to be you? That is insane to me. I was a people pleaser for a lot of my life, but not to the point where I'm a grown woman with kids and a husband and I'm gonna let another woman intimidate me. Like, to the point where I'm just like, oh, even in the little picture, Portia was getting up to take a solo picture. Did y'all peep this? Portia getting up to take a solo picture, and Shamia pops up and runs behind her. I'm the maid of honor type stuff. Like, I'm gonna be the maid of honor type deal in the picture, because Portia had on all white. And it's like, and Portia's like, oh, okay, come on. And she kind of looks away like, okay. And Shamia gets in the picture, and she's like, girl, look like she needs self-esteem and therapy to work against her people-pleasing ways, because it just was like, girl, what? Girl, what? So Shamia's basically like, well, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. But I'm like, we constantly see you shrink yourself a portion. Even you've admitted to it in a roundabout way. You may not have directly said it, but the synopsis is such, right? So Portia admits that she didn't go to, because they bring up the wedding. Oh, she said she was mad about the wedding. Oh, I didn't know about the wedding. Girl, it was on TV. Everybody knew about her not coming to my wedding. Portia's like, I came to her U.S. wedding. I just couldn't go to Kenya because we was beefing a couple of months prior. Shamia's like, oh, that's what type of time you on? Because you told me it was a medical reason. You told me you couldn't fly coach, right? And I remember it, and people been floating the thing around. Portia had a fainting spell at the nail salon. Went to the doctor. They told her she had some type of blood flow issue or something like that. So riding on a plane for that long without adequate leg room just wasn't an option for her health. Okay, I don't want to pass out on a plane. That's crazy. So if I can't fly first class, I'm not going. And Shamia was like, I'll pay for your ticket. Well, girl, no. Okay, y'all. Portia was so jealous around that time, and we can all see it. One, because Shamia was getting married, and because Shamia was getting closer with Candy and the Candy gang. You know what I mean? Candy Coated Click, that's what it was. Candy Coated Click at the time, because I can recall that season as well, where Candy threw Shamia's engagement party and Portia didn't even come. Portia didn't even come, okay? So, yes, Shamia's like, listen, anytime anybody even think about saying something about you, I shut it down every time. But you don't give me that same energy. You don't have the same regards for me. I said, basically, it's a one-sided friendship. So Cynthia is just like, oh, I hate it when the group breaks up friendships. And I'm like, I hate when people say that, because reality TV doesn't break up friendships and relationships and marriages. Reality TV exposes the flaws that people be thinking they can just slick by, because there's too many people with game that's watching you, and we gonna comment. And we probably gonna be the loudest in the room to make sure everybody's people, we peeping, right? So I hate when people say reality TV mess up relationship. No, it exposes them, and it gets stuff called to the table. And if you don't improve on it, or if people just don't like you, if you're not a likable type of person, don't even, unless you want to be the villain. You know what I mean? Unless that's your game. But yeah, Cynthia be annoying me with those little beta fish comments. Shamia is to Portia what Cynthia was to Nene, as far as like, I gotta be like this in the corner because I'm with the big personality Nene, I'm with the big personality Portia. That's what it gives, right? So Portia is mad that Shamia is discussing her with someone she was beefing with. I said, I feel you, girl, but you was playing with her on her music, and that's her baby. That's what she passionate about, and you playing with her on her music, and she retaliated by venting to the ops. Portia's just like, oh, so I'm a piece of shit, huh? I'm a terrible friend. Yeah, I'm a terrible friend. Basically, I mean, yeah. Nene told us years ago, Portia, you do not know how to be a friend. Y'all, Kelly's boobs in the scene where her and Shamia is sitting up in the meditation having a whole conversation. They are so like, it gives porn star. Her and Brit just always give, you can buy it for a Chanel bag. like it might be a little high. Well, I ain't even gonna say a Chanel bag. What's a little bit under Gucci? You can get it for a Gucci bag type deal. You feel me? You might have to spend a little money, but it's within type deal. That's how Britt and Kelly, that's just their visual, their aesthetic. But that's the episode, y'all. Did anything else happen on any of the other shows and things? I don't think so. So yeah, y'all, that was the episode. Ooh, this was long. If this part is 30 minutes. Y'all see my hair? My lock lady, she did me a little updo, right? My baby said, oh, your hair is gorgeous. Because I don't know my hair, it just be down. Might be a little top bun if it just be down. I said, gorgeous, that's a word. So, yes, y'all. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, share the video. And I'll see y'all. We gonna see what I give y'all next. Cause I be saying I'm gonna do stuff and then I be forgetting, and then by the time I get back here, I be distracted. So until next time, bye.